Hello, everybody. This is gonna be an interesting one for sure. Recently, people have been doing a lot of blind random customs and things related to that. Basically, if you don't know what that is, it's where you make a randomized pack and go into the customs pool without actually looking at what your pack list is and just trying to go off vibes, I guess. But the difference between what I'm doing and a regular blind random custom is that my screen looks like this. I basically just removed all of the textures from the game. The shapes are still there. Partially because it would take way too long to also set them all to the same shape, and also partially because it makes it at least a bit more manageable. You have like the stats in a vague shape to go off of, which is still enough for you to be very, very confused as to what every unit that you see is, which is why you'll probably see me do a lot of stupid things. But this was a pretty interesting challenge. The strategy I ended up adopting for it kind of just ended up being like, buy things that are very easily recognizable, and things that are given away by the shape. So like I completely skipped the tree and toad because I didn't recognize them as shapes to know that they were going to be good units that were like relevant for me keeping. You can figure out what units are with the things that they do in battle. So like I figured out pretty quickly that I had 2 sneaky eggs and that I had a camel and that I had an iguana. The whale shark has a very distinctive shape. You'll see that on the screen that I put in the corner, and that's part of the reason I took it, because 1, it's a very distinctive shape. 2, you can very easily just throw stats on it without thinking all that much or interacting with all that many pets. Because you don't want to spend gold on pets that don't end up doing anything, and a lot of the, like, even up to tier 5 and 6 units won't do anything for you. So I just end up spamming a bunch of easy perks on the whale shark. Okay, into turn 7. It's still more of just spamming on whale shark. It's a pair, and like, sure, it means that you can't get, say, like a melon permanently on the whale shark, but this is a blind random custom, remember? And I have no idea if there actually would be one in my pack, because I still can't look at the pack list. So I don't actually know what's going on in the pack. I'm rolling a bunch of units. I can recognize the stars below each of these, to be like, hey, oh, that's a unit I already have. So I knew when I could get a level on Whale Shark. And I knew that this was amalgamation based off of previous attempts. I had a lot of previous attempts that got close to the amalgamation specifically. Here the bear gives me more stats. It didn't actually matter, but it was cool. And yeah, now the Whale Shark's level 2, it's like completely justified for me to just spam as many stats onto it as possible. Like, sure, it loses to Skunk or something, but like, I don't have thorough enough knowledge of what my team composition is a lot of the time to be able to play around things like that anyway. So I think my best bet is to just hope that that doesn't happen. And here it didn't. There were some snake snipes, but they weren't that bad. And we were able to still win. At this point, I take level. I take the Winter Spirit. I didn't actually know that this was a Winter Spirit. I didn't recognize the shape of it. I only found out once I hit the end turn ability and saw, okay, the mana was given out. It has to be Winter Spirit. It can't be anything else. But for when I bought it, I have no idea what it was. Whale Shark has enough stats to just break through teams like this. And yeah, that's completely fine for now. Like, I could be setting up things like Real Velo or buying some quality tier 6s. Like, Team Spirit is a pretty good tier 6, but I see the like vague shape and I don't know what it does, and I don't want it to ruin what I have. So I end up just trying to like look to replace the camel and the egg. Once I've like effectively maxed this whale shark. And I know that that's a perk at the very least because I've already bought it. I know that that's a perk for the same reason. At this point, I just try and get more mana on the whale shark as well. Some of my board dies, but it's honestly fine. And we're on 7 wins. Turn 13. I find the level on Winter Spirit, and I know it's just a level. I knew the rightmost one was Lamprey, because it was a 3-2, and it had ruined one of my runs before. I didn't know this was Sabretooth when I bought it, though. It was a 4-5 that looked vaguely like it. Also, nice sleepy ailment. But it was only when I got buffs from the Mammoth that I knew it was Sabretooth. And I got pretty lucky finding levels and things here. But I found another Winter Spirit. And I did a lot of gold efficient things like buying this fig. Just because I know it could never harm me. Like, this was never going to be anything actively bad. And I was fairly confident on the shape of that being fig. I guess one shout out I should do actually, as this run is starting to wrap up, is the person that found this out initially. Is called Porter. I'll link the video on how you can also edit textures like this if you want to in the description. It's incredible stuff, really, that Porter was able to find. And really, that like he's the only reason that I was able to do this in the first place. I put more health on the amalgamation to try and help it live, but it did not matter against this team. Jesus, look at that. Yeah, my entire board is dead. We're down to 1 life. It's scary because we don't really have scaling. Like, Winter Spirit is scaling is kind of fake. Because the mana caps out after a certain amount of time. But it's still a decent amount of snipes. We don't get anything immediately dying here, and we still have both amalgamation triggers. So we're just about able to get through. 9 wins. Find the level. And chocolate is also like a very distinctive shape. Because the shadow kind of just follows exactly the shape of the chocolate. Like, the chocolate is just a solid block. But here's the final fight against a level 3 turtle 50-50 Hydra. But we have mana. We have a lot of mana. The tomato kills the backline. We get even more mana from amalgamation. Just giving extra attack. The spooked doesn't matter in the slightest. They lose some Hydra heads, but they still get a good amount of them. We get stats from Mammoth, and yeah, we're completely fine because the mana is able to just break Melon. And we even get Boar out of this popcorn to win. That was the run. I think this challenge is interesting. I might provide a link to the pack I used. You've got to be very careful though if you use it. And I don't even know if it will work. But you got to be very careful because you need to like have a copy of the same file in your like step directory, just so that if you don't permanently mess anything up. I think you can maybe verify integrity of game files or something like that if you mess it up horrendously, but then you'll end up losing your copy. Just make backups of things if you're gonna do this. But anyway, that's about it for me. Have a wonderful day.